All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Friday Mastermind. Todd Bookspan is in flight to go to the Super Bowl, so we're not going to have Todd today, but Deborah Bird and I are going to carry the flag. And Deborah, are you willing to do Todd's part at the end and do the win by noon close?
I mean, absolutely Deb X style. So let's
Let's
go.
go. Let's go. So before we bring on our special guest, Sean Herrero, who I think most people that attend a lot of these calls know Sean. I mean, he's got his own playlist now on our YouTube channel. Just an incredible mortgage professional. Sean, how are you doing? How are you starting the year off in terms of production?
Knew you were going to ask me that. Slow start, but that's a good thing. Like we only have 11 months left or less. So I think I'm at like 6 million-ish funded so far. I think we'll hit 10 this month, but not where I want to be. I'm never where I want to be.
Yeah. What did you end up closing in 24?
105-ish.
105. So $100 million producer, gaining market share, kicking butt. Um, before
With a
we
small team, right? Like this is all done with not, yeah, that's what I thought.
Me, my assistant, and then a shared processor, like company processor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So guys, we're gonna find one of his top strategies for the year, be remarkable, and how he's helping real estate agents become remarkable. So that's going to be the topic. Before we get into that, I did yesterday do what I call the Impact 100. And the goal yesterday was to talk to 100 people. I called it a day after 11 hours of talking to people at 81 conversations. Sean Herrero was one of those conversations. Uh, Deborah
I
Bird's
was
sister,
not. Shots
yeah,
fired.
Denise was one of those people. She had Deborah did have the opportunity to be one of those people, but she was too big time for me. Um, anyways,
I was owning
uh,
my calendar, owning my day.
yeah, but guys, the reason I named it the Impact 100 because I'm asking two questions and they both create impact. Question number one is, who can you refer me to that I should know and that I together we could help each other. We could create impact. So I mean, I literally think every single person made at least one referral. So I've got a whole lot of follow-up meetings coming. And then my second question is, how can I help you? And I got so many great requests for help. So I call it the Impact 100. Now, here's what I would tell everyone. It's too much, man. 100, 11 hours, two 15-minute breaks. I mean, and I was exhausted. And I got to 81. So I am not going to advocate that everybody should go out there and do this. Like it's a stunt, it's like ultra marathon running, like 150 miles. Uh, but what my big takeaway was is should you do the impact 10, the impact 20? Like I need to ask for more referrals, be more intentional about asking for referrals, make specific, like literally going forward, I'm just going to be a lot more thoughtful about who I ask for referrals, how often I do. And I will advocate to the mortgage industry and anyone that watches this, start with 10, then go to 20. And then hey, 50, I would say 50 was a really good day. Like if I was ever to do this again, I would make the goal 50 and I'd be really happy when I got to 50. And I had pretty good energy at 50. Like at 60 is where I was like, you know, this isn't fun anymore. So guys, Impact 50, Impact 10. If you are going to take this challenge, let us know in the comments. And I do
Dave,
recommend that. Go ahead.
real quick on that. How much did the text that you sent prior to making the calls, how much did that help you with the success of people actually
Oh,
answering?
it was everything. Yeah, like I had a call list, and then I sent a little text. I had copy and
Mhm.
paste, and I had two versions. I had one version was, you know, please call me when you have 2 to 3 minutes. It'll be real quick. So people
Mhm.
just knew. Hey, I just want to have today, and I want to have a
Yeah.
conversation today. But then I sent a longer one that told people what I'm doing. And no, I couldn't have I couldn't have had that many talk tos without kind of like text. And then I could talk it after three, I could talk before. And then also I have to give a big shout out for Paul, my executive assistant. He was on Zoom all day and as we would
Oh,
talk to
wow.
someone, it'd be like, they promised this, we promised that. He was writing up emails. And
Wow.
so I could not have been nearly as effective. Well, I couldn't have done what I did without Paul. So I mean, I do think if you're going to do 10 or 20 people, like, yeah, everybody can do that solo, but having an assistant helping you was game changing, and it will really be game changing as I blow this up into a lot of sales opportunities for Trust Engine.
Hmm.
But
Sean, have you ever done anything like that? Have you done?
No,
No.
I hate the phone.
well, remember you're texting, and then you're having
Yeah.
most of my calls were 3 minutes. I had a couple 10-minute calls. My very last call, my 81st call with Cindy Ertman, went 20 minutes just because her and I was like done, and I knew I wasn't talking to anybody else, and just caught up with her. But a lot of 3 to 5 minute conversations in a single day, and it was awesome. You should do it, Sean.
Okay. I'm not committing to it yet. I got too much
I
I
caught
got
that.
tunnel
I
vision
caught
right
that.
now. I'm focused right now.
All right. So let's get into the big topic. This was Sean's headline, and why'd you pick this headline, Sean?
Because I'm obsessed with that word. So Dave, what was yours last? Obsessed with impact was kind of your motto for 2024, right?
Yeah, and then this year it's be the change.
Okay. And so remarkable hit me last year. I was going on my little morning ruck and was watching an Instagram live with these two guys, just coincidentally, I don't even know who they were. And one guy was in a hotel and the other guy's like, "Oh, where are you at?" He goes, "Man, I stay at this hotel every time I'm in town. My assistant books it. I can't even remember I can't even tell you where I'm at." And the guy goes, "Oh, it's so remarkable you can't remember the name." And they laughed. And that just hit me of what remarkable means. Like the word remark is to talk about, right? And if you're a referral based lender, our goals are to get people to talk about us. And the only way that anyone talks about anything these days is if it's terrible, they're going to tell everyone automatically, right? If it's good, it's good. It has to be extraordinarily good for people to talk about us, right? If you want to get 5-star reviews on autopilot, you better be doing something that is so incredible they can't help but to talk about you. And that's what I mean by remarkable is people can't wait to talk about you. And that's what I define it as. And that's what I became obsessed with. And I had a realtor realtor reached out to me October, November of last year. And I was out of town. She's like, "Hey, can you jump on our sales meeting on Monday?" And kind of last minute, I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." She's like, "Honestly, the other person canceled on us. So you're like a last ditch effort." I was like, "Okay, happy to do it." She's like, "We want you to talk about how you've gotten so many Yelp reviews." And I go, "Okay, what do you mean?" She's like, "How do you get people to do that? How do you convince them to give you a review?" And I was like, "Well, let's talk about it next week." And the truth is I don't. They just talk about me. And then when I was going through the call, it was a Zoom, it just came back to this, like, we can't get people to give us reviews. We can't get them to give 5-star reviews. And I was like, I don't have a special secret sauce, right? I just do a good job for people. And so they tell their friends about it or they tell the internet about it. Like, I don't know what else to say. And then I realized I must have a special sauce if I was asked to be on this call on this specific topic. And I realized that what I am doing for my client process is remarkable. That's why people are talking about it. I believed in my soul that my client process is the best. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it the way I do it. And I had no way of showing anybody what it looked like until that. I was like, I know what it looks like. The realtors that refer me have no idea what their client is actually going through. Like, I need to have a presentation of this. And so I built that out. And spoiler alert, it's going to be a lot of what we'll do at Modern Mortgage Summit. So I'm not going to share too much of it today. But that's what it was. Like, we have to be remarkable. And our process and client experience becomes part of our realtors' client experience, which in turn will make them remarkable.
So, Sean, let's think about how we're going to do the rest of the call. And by the way, folks, feel free to put questions in chat. And someone asked me for my script. I just asked for a referral. I used "who do you know?" and then I went into it, asked for a referral. And then after they gave me a referral, which everybody did, I asked them what I could do to help them. How can I help you? So I'm getting impact, and then I'm giving impact. So that's the question there. So how do you want to do this, Sean? My first instinct is to just want to have you unpack your remarkable process, and just like kind of give us a checklist for that, and then also unpack a realtor remarkable process. But how do you want to kind of share this with everyone?
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. So what I want is I don't want people to go, okay, I'll just do what Sean does, because then it's not special and it's not remarkable, right? You have to find your own path forward, and we're all here to serve different people. There's an absolute abundance of business out there. And that's another thing that I talked about a lot last year, is that the market doesn't matter. Everyone used their reason for not doing the volume they wanted to do because rates were too high. The market controlled that. There's not enough inventory. The market controlled that. The market is the reason I'm not where I want to be. And that was our reason. And I think a lot of people would say, well, that's pretty valid. It's an excuse, right? I'm not happy with my volume because I know I should be doing more. More people should be getting the experience that I provide. And by them not using me, they're getting less. And I'm not okay with that. And you get to this point of conviction when you truly believe in what you're doing as being the best experience for people. And so that's what my hope of this call is that people leave, take the weekend to reflect on who is it that I'm here to serve, and am I reaching them? And then how do I make the experience so incredible that they can't help but talk about me? I'll give you one example of like a way to use remarkable. So remember, what we're trying to do is I want people to talk about me. So I work with a lot of military and law enforcement, and I wanted to do something special as a closing gift for that demographic. And a friend of mine is a knife maker, and he makes really incredible knives, and they sell out on Instagram like that. Like the day they're launched, they're gone. And I said, Andrew, what would it cost for me to have my own run of knives? He's like, what do you mean? Well, I was like, how many do I need to buy? He's like, well, we usually do like a minimum quantity of 20. I was okay, cool. I want 20 knives. How much will that cost me? He's like, $6,000. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let's go. Let's just do it. And he's like, wait, what are you doing? And I was like, I want to give one of your knives to police officers and military after we close. And he's like, dude, that's really expensive. Like they always say you do too much. And I'm like, I don't. I'm actually being really selfish, because in my head, these guys are going to go to work. They're going to have this knife on their belt or their kit somewhere. And their buddies at work are going to say, hey, where'd you get that knife? And it's going to be, oh, my lender gave it to me, right? I'm striking up a conversation by giving a gift that's very, very personal and not meant for everyone. I've gotten obsessed with micro marketing. The majority of people are trying to cast a giant wide net to reach everyone, and you won't be heard by anyone by doing that. So I've gone all in on like, this person will receive this. And I've talked about this on other calls with Seth Godin says, people like us do things like this. It took forever for me to figure out what that meant. And it means that when you market to someone, they don't need to, but my goal is to have them feel like that was only made for them. This is only for me. And that's my goal. And that is how I think that's kind of stage one of becoming remarkable, is making people feel special, and that what you're doing is only for them.
You do have a very unique, because I got to see a little bit of that last week, and it's hard to imagine that you could do over 100 million with just you, a shared processor, and assistant, but yet you have such a customized experience that makes people truly feel like you're their only client. And so from a scalability, I think that's where we get stuck in this, one size fits all, which is the worst thing you can do, especially for younger demographics. Like, nobody wants to feel like they're on this conveyor belt of, a one size process that's supposed to serve everyone and make them feel uniquely seen, when it doesn't. But you do have some very critical steps, and even like landing pages that are designed to make it feel like this was just for me. I don't know if you want to go into any of that, but I was amazed.
I want to overlay something to what Deb just brought up, and then ask the question that I think is kind of a combination of the question I want to ask you and what Deb does. So in Six Sigma, and this was actually something when I founded Mortgage Coach, I was reading some books. I never became a black belt in Six Sigma, but I read the books on what it is to be black belt in Six Sigma. And there's this term called moments of truth, where they're looking at a process, and let's just take loan manufacturing. There is a process, the first meeting, when you give the fee worksheet versus the mortgage coach. I identified that as a moment of truth. Like that is a moment of truth, but there's multiple moments of truth within the borrower experience. And so, Sean, I almost think with what you're doing, there's almost like these, not all moments are equal, and there's these remarkable things that you're doing, like moments of truth. What are those? And let's not have more than three. Like if there were three remarkable moments that are part of your process, what are they?
Loan application, step one. So pre-approval is, I kind of think of it as the first moment, because my pre-approval includes a buyer's guide, which is Mortgage Coach. And there is always a video in the presentation. I will not send a TCA out without a video being on there. And that is the first moment I have to stand out, because as much as we think that everybody's now using Mortgage Coach, it's still remarkable. It is still special. I had a client last week who I helped buy a house 2 years ago. She's selling it, buying a new one, introduces me to her new agent. This is in Sacramento. I'm in the Bay Area. Of course, the first question from the agent is, are you local? No, I'm not. She kind of goes dark on the text. Like I work everywhere. I'm a preferred lender in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I live in Danville, California. But she kind of goes dark. I copy her on the approval email to the buyer, and she goes, that presentation is incredible. She remarked on it, right? Like she's already jumped in on it. And then I had a new loan application come through yesterday, didn't know where it came from, look on like who it was referred by, and it was referred by that agent. So that one moment, I didn't do a coffee appointment. I did nothing. I just created an experience that realtor had never seen before. And she's already invested in me like that, right? So these little things, like Dave said, these little tiny moments, these little things that we think of as being relatively insignificant, or I'd say making a video is easy to do. It's easier not to do, right? It's easier just to click send on the TCA and hope that whoever's receiving on the other end can figure it out. But making that video is the tiny difference that made that experience remarkable.
Got it. Okay, so remarkable experience number one, guys. And I want people to follow along with this. If you feel that you have a remarkable experience as part of your process, call it out. But that is the first one for Sean. Okay, what's next?
2 is going to be offer. Every time we make an offer, I send a video to the listing agent, because what's the biggest variable in any transaction? The lender. If we didn't screw up all the time, they wouldn't care about cash offers as much as they do. So if I know that I'm the biggest variable in the transaction, I'm going to send a video message so that the listing agent knows who it's coming from. And I say, I know the lender is the biggest variable in the transaction. I'm embracing what they're thinking about. And I think, that's what we need to do, is answer questions that people don't think to ask, because they've already convinced themselves they're right. I give a video and I say they're dialed, they're qualified, everything you'd say on the phone. I send a video message. And then I also call and I also text. Like I bombard that phase, because I need to do everything in my power to help my clients get their offer accepted. I'm always going to go into it assuming there's multiple offers. That is remarkable, right? Not everybody does that. And it makes a massive difference to the buyer who's, a lot of first-time home buyers. That's primarily who I work with. They don't know what the difference is. And so they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that for me. And then once we're in sorry.
So time out. I want to just
pause.
help being a mortgage professional that gets people super excited about buying a home and then help someone in multiple offer situations. It's easy to say, it's not easy to do. And it is essential to being remarkable and winning. Also, I want to make sure everybody caught that. There's the video, and then there's the multi-channel, like the burst, text, call, email. When we had the refi market going, and I was talking to Jeremy, hey, what's your magic to taking all these apps? It was a Mortgage Coach report, and then it was a call, text, email all on the same day. So just, you don't want to overuse that burst, but when you're trying to make a, a moment remarkable, like that over communication is a move. I just want to make sure people got that.
And Sean, we have a question in the
yeah, I saw
chat
that.
asking, oh, did you see that?
Yeah. So, it's not, I don't think I use BombBomb. I like BombBomb because I get a notification of when the email's opened and played. You don't have to do that. But I've used it since 2016. So it's like force of habit. If you sent a mortgage coach presentation to a listing agent, said, hey, this is, you have your video in there because that's the service you have. So you don't have to pay extra for another tool. Think of how impressive that could be. Like, wow, I'm looking at the buyer's financing options. Like, this is pretty incredible. Just either way, right? It's like whatever you need to do it. Send it by text, right?
Yeah,
One thing
text
that I've
video.
started doing, one thing I've started doing with text messages is voice texts go away after you've listened to them, right? So instead of sending a text where I can't tell what happened, I'll leave a voice text, and if they don't reply, I'll go back, and if the text vanished, I know they heard me, right? Like, it's like I just need confirmation. I need closure. It's like a high school breakup. Like, I just need to know you got my message.
You're so needy.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm going to be able to find this video, but an interview several years with Josh Metal, he didn't call it a remarkable moment, but after he talked to the customer, he had, his mobile phone sitting next to his desk, he had a little tripod, and he would record like a 30-second video just reminding them, like, fill out the questionnaire, I'll be sending the mortgage coach, but it was just 30-second video that was part of that pre-approval experience. And so that was Josh's first, and then that was followed by the mortgage coach. So just think anytime you can use video strategically and thoughtfully, it's definitely uncommon and the seed to a remarkable experience. Keep
So
going,
those,
bro.
I'd say
What's next?
those are so once we're in contract, I have a video series that goes out at each milestone. So at our company within Encompass, there's milestones, right? And so I can record a video for each of those milestones that goes out automatically. And when I first started originating in 2017, I didn't want anything automated. I wanted everything to be personalized. It was really important to me just because I wanted to be as authentic as possible, Deb. So, but I got to a point where I was like, I'm failing on being personalized because I'm getting busier, which is a good problem to have. I was like, I still want this to feel special and unique and be impressive. And so I went climbing and I recorded each milestone from the bottom up. So on the ground, congratulations on getting your offer accepted. Here's the next step. So that video shows the other milestones to come. That way, when they receive their updates throughout their loan process, they see me making my way up the cliff. People talk about it all the time. Like, it's just a way for me to differentiate and personalize my client experience. And I think I've probably said experience 100 times at this point. Don't think of it as a process anymore. Think about it as an experience. Your process needs to become an experience. So those are my top 3.
I mean, Sean, I would bet that you doing those videos alone eliminates the inbound questions and calls dramatically. So from a productivity standpoint, I hear a lot of times people say, I just don't have time for video. And I'm like, that's exactly why you need to do video. The phone should only ring for new business. And this is a way to proactively explain to people what happens next on a good day when you feel well and you can say the script perfectly. Got your back on the word script there. But how much do you think that has helped on just a service standpoint and productivity from the inbound questions that are the same questions we usually always get?
No, it's a really good point. I really didn't think about it till you mentioned it, but I mean, for the realtors, like both agents and the buyer get these automations, right? I'll get replies from the realtors, awesome, thanks, right? And the company created one, so Cross Country Mortgage does these automatic, right? But they're not good. They're like screen grab with clever belly music that nobody cares about. No one's gonna watch those videos. And it's not personal and it's not me, right? So I don't want people to have a great experience with Cross Country Mortgage. I want them to have a great experience with Sean Herrero at Cross Country Mortgage. Because at the end of the day, if I don't work here anymore, I want them to remember Sean Herrero and talk about Sean Herrero.
Yeah, and there's 2 sides of that customization, that personalization, that hyper personalization? Is it to be remarkable? Every touch point needs to be super authentic and well done. And then from a consumer's perspective, and this is where, Mortgage Coach comes in, when you're giving that individualized based on their assumptions, based on their home, based on their options, based on their 5 year, what things are going to look like. Like, you want to be hyper personal with all your content, and then you want to be hyper individualized in creating experiences for consumers. So let's do this. Let's go for like another 5 minutes breaking down the remarkable borrower experience, and then let's really talk about how you're helping realtors become
Yeah.
remarkable and what is a remarkable real estate agent experience. So we got your three, let's just call
Mhm.
the high impact points, the moments of truth, the remarkable points. What are like, you don't need to give 20 checklists, but what if there were like 6 or 8 other things that are on your, if we were making a checklist, what else would be on that checklist to deliver the Sean Herrero remarkable borrower experience?
I mean, it will be proactive calls and texts at like the emotional points of the transaction, right? Like when someone, again, most of my clients are first-time home buyers. When they get their loan approved, that's a big moment because even though I've told them they're good to go, you're good to go, you're good to go, you're pre-underwritten, they're still nervous, right? So I think a lot of the way that I look at what we do for a living is psychology and emotion, right? And I want to hit at those emotional times to create a memory. So I will do a proactive call, text when the loan's approved, when the closing disclosure goes out. Throughout the process, I'll write "you're almost home" constantly because that's an exciting thing, right? We want them to be excited about this process. So these are, again, those are little tiny things that maybe everyone already does, but it's the timing of them. When we ask for a review, right? I do ask for reviews, but I don't have to force people to give them to me because I ask at the right emotional time. When the loan funds and my video of me topping out at the top of this cliff goes out, I'll send a request that says, can I ask, subject line, can I ask for a favor? And, hey, congratulations on getting your offer accepted, or I'm sorry, congratulations on closing. Thanks for choosing us for your lender. Can I ask for a favor? Online reviews have become my resume. And then I have links to Zillow, Google, and Yelp. I send that when the loan funds, in between funding and recording, because on the loan side of things, that is the most emotionally exciting point of the transaction on my end. And I tell realtors they should ask between recording and when they give the keys. Because one, it's exciting, and two, I better give them the review because I'm about to see him in like an hour. So like, it's the perfect time for them to do it. So if you do it 3 weeks later, the emotion's gone, right? If you do it on the weekend when they're moving, it's the last thing they're thinking about is trying to give you reviews. So you have to do it in a time when I'll say it this way, in a time when people are feeling like in a place of gratitude, right? That's when you ask for something in return. And I'm really bad about asking for anything. I mean, Dave called me yesterday. He's like, what can I do for you? I was like, I don't know. And if I did, I probably wouldn't ask. I don't like asking for things.
True story.
I can't ask for referrals unless I give value first. That's why
He did give me a referral though.
I did. Oh,
Yeah.
I do. I have it on my checklist from my notes.
Yeah, he gives but doesn't like to get.
So
Same.
well, I do like to get. I don't want to ask for it.
Mhm. Could be
So,
drowning.
So now I just need to think about what you want and how I can help you. Oh, actually, you did ask me for help.
I did.
You something. Yeah.
I asked for a testimonial. So, where was I going with that? It's the emotion. Like you've got to ask in a time when people are feeling gracious to get what you want. Oh, mortgage reviews. I send mortgage reviews every 3 months, which I think is part of the remarkable process to make sure everyone always has the best mortgage possible. In that, even if people's rates are higher, we're sending them an updated TCA with an updated video to say you're in great shape, right? You have the best mortgage, nothing to be done. My teammates like, why do we send these? I'm like, because
Wait, you do that every 3 months?
every
You do
3
that?
months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We try to do at least 5 a day. Like I have to do 15 of them today because I put off recording my videos earlier this week. But I have to get them done. But the reason I do it is because I'm so insecure about asking for referrals. I feel I need to give something of value before I can ask for something of value. So if I send their mortgage review and I say, you're in great shape, you have the best mortgage possible, keep an eye on where rates are going, the end of the video, I'm now over my own insecurity to say, if you know anyone who's looking to buy right now, me and insert realtor's name here would love to help them. The market's different than it was when you bought. We're using different strategies to make sure everyone gets the best deal possible. I cannot ask for a review unless I give value first, or a referral unless I give value first. That's just the way I am. So it's like, do I just never ask, or do I find a way to overcome my own issues?
All right. So let me do this. So one, I do want to call out a touch point where, like Jeremy Forcier, when people get approved, he thinks that's a great time to ask for a referral, and he's got a template that he will ask for a referral at that point because they're in an emotional state. They're feeling the love. Thanks. And then I think it goes something like, "Hey, I have a favor. I want to work with more people I like, more people like you. Can you think of anybody that I can help right now?" And he just puts that in an email and he sends it right when people get approved. So keep that in mind. That would be a remarkable moment for you as a loan officer. Jeremy will tell you that is the single highest conversion lead source. And at any given time, he's got a number of loans in his pipeline that came from in-process referrals. So big idea. Make sure you guys take action on it. I don't know if Sean will, but consider it, Sean. And then another really high impact moment I've heard top producers talk about before is that, you know, you've taken the app, you just call, or you have someone on your team call with no other reason but to just check. Hey, I just want to make sure how you're feeling, and just like this reach out, make sure they got their disclosures, see if they have any questions. And if they're just going, no, everything's great, it's good. Remember, this is not a call to ask for conditions. This is a call for no other reason but to check on them. And that's also a good time that if they say, hey, everything's going great, thanks for the proactive check-in, it's a good time to ask for a referral. If they, oh, I didn't get this, or I haven't heard that, or we're confused about this. So think about making calls where there's no agenda other than to check on them and make sure they're doing well. So I've heard that as a remarkable touch point many a times. So
That is so
Sean,
good, Dave. I love that. It's awesome.
cool. Sean, anything else on the borrower experience before we start focus on realtors?
Yeah, so Deb was talking about something I showed her last week when we were together, and I want to share one because I think the visual will help people kind of understand what I mean by remarkable, can't help but talk about you, and micro marketing. So one of my best friends is in the SEAL teams on the East Coast, and that's why I'm a preferred lender in Virginia Beach. And he refers me like crazy within his community. And I said, I went to him, I was like, hey, I want to have a site that's only for you. Like, the only way you will ever find this is if it's given to you by somebody at work, or if I sent it to you. There's no other way you'll ever get here. So I built this page that is meant, for the boys. So there's no female SEALs right now. It's only for the boys. And all the imagery is from one of my buddy's teammates. So he retired and he's took photos and stuff he's out there. So I licensed photos from him. I recorded a video that's completely specific to what I'm showing here. All the images are related to this one group. If you're a soccer mom and you somehow got here, there's no relevance. Like, this means this is not for me. But if you're in the teams and you see this stuff, like, it's only for me. These reviews are from teammates. Everything here, send it is like a shooting term, right? Like, everything here is only for them. And it's like, this is such a small thing, but think of the trust that's built within this automatically. I got it from somebody I work with that I already trust with my life. And this isn't some generic website. This is clearly made specifically for me. And in the background, like, one of my clients made me this board as a thank you gift. Here's a handwritten note from another one. I have all these coins behind me I've gotten from guys that were clients. So it's like, okay, this guy clearly works with our community, and that is a special thing. And now it's like, I have this little Sean out there helping me get more clients that I like to work with, right? I love working with these guys. It's so much fun. That's micro marketing, right? That's the opposite of what we're supposed to do.
Love that. How many different pages do you have like that? Like, is this a new move for you, or do you have like
I
dozens of
have a
these?
lot. I have a lot. I have a lot, but new concepts. So law enforcement, like I made a law enforcement page. I made a first responders page. I can make this smaller. So I made firefighter, paramedic, law enforcement. And then I went, if I have a law enforcement page, why can't I make it for each department? Right. So if you're a cop and you go to the law enforcement page, this is for me. But if I am in at Livermore PD and I go to a page and it has the Livermore PD badge and it says that this is for Livermore PD, it's more micro. Like and that's the bottom. I don't know how to make it more micro than that, right? But it's not hard for me then copy paste and create additional ones for each department that I serve.
So good, brother. Micro marketing, guys. All right. So it is 9:35. If you have questions, keep them coming. Even if you're watching this on YouTube, put your questions and comments, big takeaways. Also, I have a personal favor to ask everyone on this call before we move forward. Sean Herrero, when I asked him what can I do to help you, he asked me at like, hey, I want to speak more and I want to have more testimonials on that. So my personal favor to everyone on this call, if you've seen Sean speak or you've watched his videos, give him a little testimonial. Like write something around what why is Sean a great speaker? Why do you like watching Sean Herrero keynotes? Let's put that in chat, and Sean will copy all those. Hopefully, we'll get a bunch of
Thank
good
you.
stuff for you. So
That's
that'd
awesome,
be a
dude. Thank you
personal
so much.
favor to me, guys, if you would do that. It will also make it easier for me when I have to write my testimonial for him because I'll have your inspiration. So all right. And D Bird, you need to get Sean a speaker testimonial too. So,
I will. Got it.
all
Dave's
right.
struggling to give me a testimonial.
No, dude, I just blew it up. I mean,
I know, I'm
you
kidding.
didn't even ask for it. I just got you like 10 of them.
I'm kidding. I wanted to answer
Right.
two questions real quick from the chat before we move on. Kathy said, how long are your mortgage coach videos? I feel like there's so much information in the TCA. I try to keep it to 1 minute. The video is meant to be an overview, not a replacement for a conversation. It leads to a Zoom call. So there, I try to keep them to 1 minute. And then Michael asked, does your company have enterprise level mortgage coach to be able to send all these TCAs so often? We do. I don't use it. I use my own personal. And Michael, what you're talking about having to update the fees, I have to do that every single time. So build
Although,
fee templates and that'll shortcut your time a bit. I have fee templates for purchase transactions and refinances in $250,000 increments. So I'll just pick one of those. It's not exactly perfect, but it's pretty accurate. And I try to overestimate instead of underestimate. So the fees end up being lower. So build those templates and it'll save you a lot of time.
yeah, but hey, the Encompass, the Optimal Blue integrations do make things faster. So, and if you are an individual loan officer watching this and you're like, what's Mortgage Coach? You know, we have a web page called Mortgage Coach, or excuse me, trustengine.com/10x. And all the training content you need there. Plus, there's a button to sign up if you have not already become a mortgage coach. And if your company's not a mortgage coach partner, have them talk to me. Talk to your management. We just ran some numbers, and 80% of the top 25 lenders in the country are mortgage coaches. So let's get you guys on the bandwagon. All right. Did you get those questions?
Got him done, dude. Congratulations, Tyler. That's freaking awesome. I'm stoked for you, brother. That's really cool to see.
Oh, check that out. Tyler Brown, guys, number one branch. He went to Sean's tiny event workshop. By the way, Sean, for your new workshop that you call Mindset, do you have a date for that yet? Or a way that people
Almost.
can sign up?
Yeah, thank you. It'll be in April. I tentatively April 10th. It's a 2-day event, but I'm fine tuning that. I'll have it dialed in today, actually.
What, is there a link they could go to now and get on the list, or they'll just have to follow you on social and keep an eye out for it?
I'll put the link in a link in the chat. Yeah, that's right. That's the right way to say it. Yeah, I'll throw it in here. If you guys want to get on the interest list for it. It's a 2-day event, covers everything we're talking about today, marketing and execution of transactions, and how to not let the market dictate your success anymore.
Yeah. And is that what you're going to talk about at the Modern Mortgage Summit?
Yep.
Can't
And for
wait.
those who can't see the chat, Tyler had said that he went to the tiny event that Sean's talking about and that it helped him go to number one in his branch. So kudos to both of you.
Thank
So
you. I'm
check it
stoked.
out. Get on the interest list. All right. So Sean, we got 20 minutes left. Let's break down on how you are making realtors remarkable and what you think some of the key steps are and some of the remarkable moments that, a realtor experience should be.
Yeah. So my goal with a lot of what we're talking about is part of a realtor's remarkable experience is going to be controlling the team, right? If the lender's the biggest variable in the transaction, why is the realtor leaving that to chance? If your realtors think you are the best, they should be doing everything they can to make sure their clients work with you, right? We can't ever force it, but they can encourage it. And what I realized is I didn't have enough visuals. I needed to make it easier for my agent partners to refer me as a second opinion, whatever it is. So your remarkable experience that you're going to create now becomes something you're so excited to talk about yourself to go to more real estate agent meetings. That then is inspiration for them to figure out what their remarkable experience is. Because they probably have a great client. I promise you they have a great listing presentation, but they don't have a buyer presentation, right? So my goal and job is to help them create a great buyer presentation, which I am a very big part of. And then I'm showing them how to be remarkable at an open house. Think about what a standard open house flyer is. It's photos of the house, bed, bath count, property address, square footage, maybe the description from MLS, and then 5% down, 10% down, 20% down interest rates. There's no value in that. The reason they're at the open house is because they saw the pictures of the house, the bed, bath count, the square footage, and the address on the internet. So that's why they came. So, and they already know, I'm assuming they've looked at financing, but like I can figure out 5, 10, 15% down on the internet, right? There's no value. So if we're looking at what happens at an open house, what does a realtor want to get out of an open house? If they're going to spend 6 hours of their weekend, if not more, at an open house, what's the goal? I want to meet people and get leads to get new clients. Well, how do you get a lead? I'm going to ask them to sign in. No, I'm not signing in. Okay, cool. Like, what are you going to not let them in the house? So what do? If we want something of value, somebody's contact information, I need to give something of value. That's a transaction, right? So instead of giving very generic information or here's why I'm great flyers at my open house, which are of no value to the person coming through, we have to give something of value to create curiosity, intrigue, and then get people to come talk to the agents. So you have to speak to what people are thinking about when they walk into an open house. So let's say super sexy house, completely remodeled, good price point. Everybody's going to want this house. They walk into the open house, they look around, there's 10 other people there. What are they thinking? They're thinking, what am I going to have to pay to get this house? How much am I going to have to overpay to get this house, right? That's what they're thinking. So my way to answer what they're thinking is to show them a different way of looking at price. So I use MortgageCoach at every single open house, and I show them list price, 25,000 over, 50,000 over. Insert, whatever brackets you need to do for your market. Is it worth losing a house over $50,000 in price? Emotionally, that's a pretty easy yes, right? I'm not paying 50,000 higher than what they want for it. Is it worth losing over $300 a month? No, I'm definitely getting the house for an extra $300 a month. Cool. I just asked you the same question. I just asked it in a way that shows what the house costs you instead of what does the house cost. And when you have a visual representation of that at the open house, it creates curiosity. So I'll have you print MortgageCoach. I'll do 3 pages because I want to show the summary, savings, what is it? The monthly savings over time, short-term, long-term. That's basically the 3 pages. Put them in flyer stands all over the open house. And realtors are like, well, this is really confusing. I go, guess what happens? They have to come ask you questions because they don't understand. And then you get to be the expert that made them look at something that they had already convinced themselves they were right about in a different way. And now you're worth me giving you my contact information to because you provided more value to me than any other realtor has. That is remarkable. Like getting someone to come talk to you and give you their contact information makes you remarkable. That's just one example of how I'm coaching agents on how to do better open houses.
Love that. Again, I knew you did that. I just forgot about it. And so I love that being part of your realtor remarkable experience. Is anybody else doing that? How many open houses are you supporting on any given weekend?
Lately it's been a little quiet. We haven't had a ton come on yet, but I would like peak of the market last year is like 15 to 20. And that's what my Fridays were. Fridays were just sitting here building open house engagement kits. Each one probably takes me 10 to 20 minutes to do. And that's why I love doing it, because I've shown other loan officers this stuff, and they're like, it's just too much time. I'm like, then don't do it. I'll do it. I'd rather be in 20 open houses at once than sitting in one. So yeah, don't do it. I'll do it.
Right. All right.
And
And
you
by
put
the
a
way,
QR
Kathy,
code on yours, right, Sean? On your when you
do.
print them out? Yeah, I thought
I do,
had
because
seen that.
MortgageCoach still has not embraced the QR code movement from
dude, we
2020.
let you put the QR code in. We just don't have a
Dude,
separate
did that not have the
Q
best
code
comeback ever?
only. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah. So
I did. I
Kathy,
put
by
my
the way,
yes.
Kathy, thank you so much for those kind words for Sean. He appreciates it. I do as well. Oh, we got another one from Michael. Thank you, Michael. We appreciate that. And cool. So what are some other remarkable moments that you're helping, either inspiring realtors to do or helping them do?
So I want them to look at their process and figure out how they can make their process a client experience, just like I did, right? Like, these are my milestones. This is what's going to happen. This is what I believe in my heart and soul is the best approach. And I'm going to stick to it every single time. And if somebody says, I don't want to do it that way, no problem. I'm not your guy. There's plenty of lenders out there. I'm sure you can find someone else to do it a different way. I will not deviate from what I believe is the best path forward for clients. It's like, if you go to a store, it's like, I gave an example of this once when I was in Orange County. If somebody walked into Jack's Surf Shop and wanted a tuxedo, they're going to be like, we don't sell tuxedos here. They're not going to run in the back and be like, somebody asked for a tuxedo. We got to start carrying tuxedos. Like, let that guy, he's at the wrong store. Like, that's not what we do. That's so get really confident in your client experience, and you will attract the right people. And then it gets a little bit automatic. I want realtors to understand that. Like, do you really want to sell $6 million homes that sit on the market for a year and a half? Or do you want to sell a bunch of $1 million homes that turn over like crazy? Like, what do you want your market to be? Don't say you do all things for all people, because you can't. So a lot of things I started off talking to you guys about, this is the exact same stuff I want realtors to start thinking about. And then on the micro marketing side of things. So I just went to a Tom Ferry event, which was fantastic. And a lot of what he said ties into exactly what I'm saying. Speaking to emotion, they referenced Seth Godin just like I did, and he's talking about micro marketing. So if you think of the way that realtors are doing mailers, right? This is my biggest pet peeve. So again, I'm insecure. I didn't do well in high school relationships. Like, I need closure. When you mail out a postcard, like, let's say you're a realtor, you send 1,000 pieces out to your farm, each one's $1, and then nothing happens. And you're like, why doesn't anybody like me? Like, they didn't call. Was it the font? Was it the photo? I don't know what to change because I have zero feedback, right? I'm a data nerd. And so CoreFact will let you send postcards that have a QR code, love QR codes, Dave, that are specific to the property address. So if you send a mailer, and think of people going to the mailbox, like when I talk about client experience, I'm visualizing somebody in my head. It's just the way I see things. Like when I talked about a home buyer walking up to an open house, I legitimately see somebody walking up with grass on both sides of the path to 2 steps that walks into a front door. I don't know why. That's just what happens in my head. And when I think of somebody going to their mailbox, I see them open it, pull out their mail, start flipping through it. I have from the mailbox to the garbage can to get their attention, right? Otherwise, I'm going in the trash. If I send something that says, here's the top 10 questions to ask a listing agent, you're going straight in the trash, because you know what no one has ever thought about walking to the mailbox? I wish I knew the top 10 questions to ask a listing agent. Never. Real estate is the only industry that does passive aggressive marketing. Like, we have the Super Bowl coming up. I'm sure tons of realtors sent out their insert sport team here schedule in hopes that, like, hey, here's the sports team schedule. Hopefully you think of me when you sell a house. Like, solve people's real estate problems, then they'll use you for real estate. So what I encourage my agents to do is, why aren't people moving? And Dave and I have talked about this a ton. what is it? 60% of America has an interest rate under 4%, something like that.
I thought it was 80.
Is it?
No, it's 63%.
Oh,
Yeah. So
4% are younger, but yeah,
yeah.
it's a big number.
So, which is preventing people from moving, right? So it's like, okay, if we know that, and if people have convinced themselves that they are stuck in their house because their interest rate is too low, what if you were the person that made them rethink that thought? They go to their mailbox, they open it up, and it says, feeling stuck, you're not alone. We've helped many clients move to their next home. I just said, I relate to you because you're like, yeah, I was feeling stuck. Oh, I'm not the only one. You're not alone. And maybe Sean can help me. Insert realtor, right? This is how I'm coaching realtors. That prompts them to pull their phone out of their pocket, scan QR code. And then what most realtors would do is they scan the QR code and it goes to their website. That has nothing to do with what caught their attention. So it should go to a landing page where there's a video, just like I showed you guys on my For the Boys page, where there's a video that says, hey, if you're feeling stuck, you're not alone. We've helped so many clients through it. There's not a one size fits all approach to this. We've done it so many different ways and we'd love to help you find the right way. Something like that, right? Contact information done. That is how it should work. And then if they take no action on the landing page, I know that they scanned because the QR code through Corfact was specific to that property address. So I got you. Like, I have closure. I know that I got feedback, whether you take action or not. And now I can do a follow-up campaign, an 8x8 campaign to them, drop something that's personalized off to their house. That is something that is remarkable, right? Does it mean they're going to talk about you? Not necessarily, not yet, but I caught their attention to hopefully get them into a remarkable client experience.
The word remarkable is ingrained in my head like never before.
Yeah, you're welcome. Welcome to my world.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I see some reactions coming in. Everybody, we got 9 more minutes. Let's give Sean a little reaction. How you feeling? Lola, thank you for that testimonial.
Thank you, Lola.
Michael, thank you for that. Really kind words, guys. I agree with all of the feedback people are giving. And remember, you've got Sean for another 8 minutes. So if you have a question, put it in chat now or hold your peace. Is there another? I mean, I have some other questions to ask, but I don't want to ask those if you have another remarkable moment or touch point you want to cover.
Oh, so I guess this is kind of a broad spectrum one, but closing gifts. And I think this applies to us and to real estate agents. Somebody asked what, if Sean gives these special knives to these specific audiences, what does he give to everyone else? I can't get hyper specific with everyone, but I do these cutting boards or charcuterie boards, right? Hate charcuterie. Everyone loves it though. So I was like, okay, everyone
wait. You hate charcuterie?
It's the biggest waste of money. Nobody ever eats any of that. Nobody eats.
Well, you're not hanging around the Savage family, man. We eat all charcuterie.
I am like this bro. At the end of the party, just pushing everything into the trash.
Well, that's because you're not getting the quality stuff, bro. All right, we'll take that offline.
Anyway, so I was like, okay, if I want to have something memorable in someone's home after that's going to leave an experience, I give them these personalized cutting boards or charcuterie boards with either their last name, their first name, something personalized in it. It doesn't say Sean Herrero or Cross Country Mortgage on it anywhere. Like, I love that we give closing gifts that have our crap all over it. That's not a gift. That's an ad. And nobody wants their ad. But when someone has a party at Dave's house because they love charcuterie and they go, oh my gosh, that board's so cool. Where'd you get it from? Oh, my lender Sean gave it to me. Right? Oh, like it just gives them I'm giving myself as many opportunities for people to talk about me as possible. I want to be remarked upon.
Yeah, and my charcuterie gets cleaned up really well. It's some good stuff.
I know what I'm getting, Dave.
Yeah, right. Deborah, any questions you have for Sean?
Is there anything that you're doing post-closing, kind of beyond the transaction and beyond the every 3-month TCA? But do you do any kind of community events or educational events for your database or agent partners? I don't know if you do anything with First Home IQ or anything like that, but anything post.
Not to the level I want to. It's funny you asked that.
Slacker.
I know. So I think for me, it's a little hard. Well, here's my excuse, right? This is my reason, but reasons are excuses. My excuse is that my clients are all spread out and they're not going to come if I do something on a Saturday or Sunday. That's not true. They won't all come, but a lot of them would. So like embracing personal brand, Rock climbing outdoor stuff is me. Mountain Hardware, the brand's headquarters, are 30 minutes from me. I used to do pre-COVID. I did an event there. I'd show a climbing or an outdoor film, had a food truck, gave them access to the friends and family store. And I want to do that in March. And I was just this weekend like, dude, it's right around the corner and you slacked again. I need to be a lot better about that. I really do. Educational events. So on that subject, I just reached out to a military nonprofit, and I'll be doing VA education for them as people transition out of the military. And that was thanks to a Savage Walk with Dave, where he was like, what if, with your passion for helping with veterans, why don't you do like a VA IQ program? And I was like, that's a great idea. And so that's what I'm doing. That started yesterday.
So you're taking action from our walk and talk.
I am. Oh, and then another one,
Ooh.
love blue collar, right? Those are my people. Have you guys seen those shirts? They say dirty hands, clean money. So I see them out here all the time. So I have dirty hands, clean mortgages.
Nice.
Like that.
So I set up with an HVAC company, doing educational information for them. Like we're doing workshops once a month at their meetings. That starts in March. So same concept. So taking first home IQ to blue collar and veterans is kind of my passion project right now.
So just imagine if you did once a month, even if you did it via Zoom, where you're interviewing maybe a HVAC or a plumber, where your clients could also join. And it's like, here's what you need to know with maintaining the home. Like I know the first home I bought here in Texas, I thought it was a scam. I'm like, you guys want me to water the foundation? Like I'm watering concrete because it gets so hot that the ground, but I thought it was a scam. And most people, when you buy, especially first-time home buyers, like if you were to ask me to change the air filter, I would be like, I have no idea where that is or how to do that or how often I should. So that could be little micro series every month that your clients could attend if it would benefit them. And you're just leveraging those relationships. See? There you go.
All right, guys. So we are in the last 3 minutes. I'm going to have 30 seconds of closing thoughts, but Deborah, why don't you do the win by noon close? Tell everybody how they can take action on this.
Well, first off, reminder that we're about a month away from the Modern Mortgage Summit. So I did put that link in the chat where you can get either a virtual ticket or a live ticket. It is a one-day event this year. So make sure if you're interested in that you take action and take advantage of the early bird pricing. And then 2, I wrote down, are you worth making a remark about? That in order to be remarkable, we need to now reflect on not our process, but our client experience and partner experience. And are we creating a remarkable experience and highlighting the emotional touch points that someone would go through, whether they're buying their first home, maybe they're selling and buying for the first time, maybe they're a vet. So just really taking time to dissect, okay, how would I want to be treated and how would I be feeling during this time? Because anytime you're buying a home is a lot. And ask yourself, are you worth making a remark about?
Love those ideas, guys. So I want to close this out with, being remarkable is just a form of improving the quality of your communication. I did a post on Monday that there are 2 strategies that if implemented seriously and thoughtfully, every single loan officer in America could achieve their financial goals. Strategy number 1, talk to enough people, have conversations, whether those are digital conversations, over the phone, in person, Zoom, but it's the quantity of conversations and then it's the quality of the communication and the quality of the conversations. That's why Sean and I went to Exactly What to Say certification with Deborah and Todd last week. Incredible program. Make sure that when the next one comes out, it's a small group, the quality and the quantity matters. Mortgage Coach, if you are still giving a fee worksheet to consumers, that is not a remarkable experience, and it will actually save you time and make you more money to upgrade that. So I want everybody to just kind of go through first, am I having enough conversations, having enough communication? Am I doing the quantity I need to do? I interviewed Shant Banosian on Saturday, or excuse me, on this Tuesday, #1 loan officer in America. And I'm telling you, this guy is having a lot of conversations, creating a lot of value for a lot of people. That's another great interview to check out. Sean, any closing thoughts, bro?
I want everyone to be remarkable this year. No more excuses. Nothing else determines your success other than you and your mindset. Definitely go check out exactly what to say. Words matter. Like they matter a lot. I've always just tweaked little words, and exactly what to say made a massive difference for me too. So appreciate you guys having me. I love chatting with you guys. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I had a great time. Also, if you have not followed our YouTube channel, Mortgage Coach YouTube channel, follow, subscribe today. If you don't follow savageinsights.com, that is where I post like to sign up for this. Whatever the next interview I'm doing, it's at the very top of Savage Insights. And if you are not part of the Savage Insights Mobile Club, a couple times a week, I'm sending out a text. And I think it's like 2 links down. Go to savageinsights.com and you'll see the text club to get into. Guys, have a great weekend. Go Birds. I'm a Denver Bronco fan, and I'm tired of seeing the Chiefs win. But let's hope we have a good football game. Take care, everybody.
All right. Much love.